The Strait of Gibraltar, which the ancients and Romans knew as the Pillars of Hercules, is a narrow channel that connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. This small sea channel passes between two important continents of the world, whose minimum distance is only 13 kilometers. At this point, Africa and Europe come so close that if one stands on one side and looks, the other continent can be easily seen. However, no bridge has yet been built to connect them. Countless proposals have been given over the past several decades to link both continents via a land route. This route is quite important because it could serve to connect the 450 million population of the European Union with Africa's 1.5 billion people. It would have a huge impact on both continents' economies, increase trade, improve transportation, and significantly boost tourism. But the question is, despite all these benefits, why has no bridge been built over the Strait of Gibraltar so far? Welcome once again to Fusion Arc's video. The Strait of Gibraltar connects two important water bodies, the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. This strait is about 57 kilometers long, and its width from Spain's Tarifa to Morocco's Ceuta point is only 8 miles or 13 kilometers. Speaking of its depth, the average depth of the entire strait is about 1,200 feet or 365 meters. As small as this strait may seem, its importance is tremendous because it is a natural route between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic Ocean. In contrast, the Suez Canal is a man-made canal that provides a route for ships between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. The width of the Suez Canal is very narrow, and there is always a risk of full-sized ships getting stuck. The Strait of Gibraltar offers an open passage for large-sized cargo ships, which is why the number of ships passing through here is significantly higher. Every year, 20,000 ships pass through the Suez Canal, 14,000 through the Panama Canal, and an astonishing 100,000 ships pass annually through the Strait of Gibraltar. Many cargo vessels bring valuable goods from the Western Hemisphere to the Middle East, Africa, and Europe, while some cross the Suez Canal to reach Asia and China. Similarly, ships going from the Middle East to Western Europe or America also have to pass through the Strait of Gibraltar. And because the Strait of Gibraltar is close to fossil fuel-rich countries, it is routine for oil vessels to pass through here daily. According to a report, about 300 oil vessels pass through the strait every day, carrying cargo worth billions of dollars. The Strait of Gibraltar is a crucial trading route for global markets, and the jobs of neighboring countries are also connected to it. Spain's Algeciras port, the largest shipping port in Europe, and Morocco's rapidly growing Tangier port are both benefiting from trade and tourism. Given these financial benefits, many people are surprised that a bridge connecting these two parts of the world has not yet been built. It's not that this hasn't been thought about. Since 1979, many feasibility studies and proposals have been given. But there are some issues that make building a bridge here not so easy. First, let's talk about the cost of this bridge. Estimates suggest that the cost of building a bridge over the Strait of Gibraltar could range from $5 billion to $20 billion, as this bridge would be much more difficult compared to other major bridges in the world. One thing is that whatever bridge is built here would need to be designed in such a way that even the world's largest ships can easily pass underneath, which is easier said than done but perhaps very difficult to execute. Why is this difficult? We will talk about it later. But who will bear the cost of $5 to $20 billion? Obviously, the countries benefiting from the Strait of Gibraltar will have to bear this cost, that is, Spain and Morocco. To date, the political leadership of both countries has never reached an agreement. Spain argues that Morocco would benefit more from the bridge, so they should bear more of the cost, while Morocco's leadership wants the cost to be divided 50-50. Another issue is the feasibility of the bridge, meaning how beneficial it will be after it is built. For example, the Channel Tunnel built between the UK and France cost $145 billion, but every year more than 20 million passengers use this tunnel. A passenger can reach France from the UK for £121 or $150, meaning this tunnel earns around $30 billion annually, double its construction cost. Similarly, if a bridge is built over the Strait of Gibraltar, will it generate enough revenue to cover the cost of the bridge? This is viewed with much skepticism, as Morocco is a country with a GDP of only $130 billion, meaning less than half of Pakistan's. If even a $5 billion bridge is built and a minimum toll fee of $20 is set, the bridge's cost can only be recovered if 250 million passengers use it annually, which is a highly optimistic number. The next issue is the construction of the bridge. As you have learned, the Strait of Gibraltar is a very busy route for ships. Considering this, a bridge would have to be built in such a way that it doesn't disturb this traffic. For this, the height of the bridge would need to be quite high, which would be a huge challenge for engineers. The average depth of the Strait of Gibraltar is 1,200 feet, but at some points, it is more than 3,000 feet deep, meaning the pillars here would need to be taller than even the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. To date, the tallest bridge pillars are those in the Millau Viaduct, which stand at only 1,104 feet. Constructing pillars taller than 3,000 feet underwater is a task that greatly worries engineers. Additionally, the water currents here are not uniform. At the bottom of the ocean, water moves from east to west, while on the surface, it flows from west to east. This means that if such tall pillars are erected, they would have to withstand water pressure from both sides. However, the biggest threat to this bridge would not come from the world's tallest pillars standing in water, but from the Earth's tectonic plates. Yes, the Earth's crust is made up of different sections called tectonic plates, and these plates are constantly shifting. Where these plates meet, earthquakes are very common. Unfortunately, the African and Eurasian plates meet right above the Strait of Gibraltar. This means that even if a bridge is built here, the consequences could be disastrous. Avoiding an earthquake in this region is simply a matter of time. In 1755, the Lisbon earthquake struck, registering high on the Richter scale, causing devastation in Portugal, Spain, and Morocco. Similarly, in 1960, a 5.7 magnitude earthquake wreaked havoc in Agadir, Morocco. This means that building a bridge over the Strait of Gibraltar means not only dealing with the strong currents of the Atlantic Ocean, but also being prepared to withstand an earthquake of magnitude 9 or 10. Along with these dangers, the ocean floor of the Strait of Gibraltar is also unstable. Researchers say that under the strait, there are soft clay layers that cannot support any structure. This soft clay can shift easily during geological activity or under any kind of pressure. Geologists have warned that any construction project in this area could be disastrously unsuccessful due to these clay channels. But this does not mean that both continents cannot be connected in any way. Several alternatives have been proposed, such as a tunnel running beneath the ocean floor, similar to the Channel Tunnel between the UK and France. However, this project would further increase the cost, casting further doubt on the feasibility of the project. On the other hand, Spain and other European Union countries believe that building a tunnel or bridge could lead to an increase in African refugees or illegal immigrants entering Europe, making it difficult to control the influx. These are the various reasons why, despite the short distance between the two continents, no bridge has been built over the Strait of Gibraltar to this day. We hope you liked and shared this video from Fusion Arc. Thank you very much for your kind comments. See you in the next fantastic video.